Alrighty guys, let's kick off this second part of the review and focus in on the actual figure. So let's take him here. Let's see, what should we go over first? Let's go over looks wise. I give this thing like a 10 out of 10 because I do not have any other Transformer figure that looks this good. Even in the Masterpiece line, the closest one I would gotta say is probably Grimlock. On-screen accuracy and just plain awesomeness. This thing is beautiful. It looks like a real Transformer. It looks like Convoy. It's taken straight from the animation and plopped down right in front of us. I got the same feelings I got from Grimlock and the same things from this, but this thing is just done even better. This Masterpiece line is really evolving because from the earlier figures we know how complex they got. They were overly so, and that really took away from from having fun with the figure. But these new ones recently have been pretty darn good, and they've been just the right level of complexity that it feels more like a collector's item than rather a toy. But it's done well, and definitely better than Rodimus or Starscream or Megatron, and definitely better than the MP1 version. So let's take a look at his... Well, before we get into transformation, let's just look at his articulation and some of the detail work. Now, as I said before, he comes packaged with his shoulders extended like this, and it looks funny, but it actually has some detail work on there, some sculpting details on the joints. Just gray plastic, nothing special. Rotates 360. Rotates at the bicep, bends at the elbow, rotates at the wrist. Now the hands actually have articulated fingers, somewhat. They are at the joint at the palm. The three fingers, these three, are connected, and they move as one. The pointer finger actually has double joints, so one at the base and one in the middle, so it's actually like a trigger finger, and he could point. The thumb doesn't move, however, and yeah, there's no actual wrist bending, so that's a disappointment, but not big. Still looks great. Makes for really nice relaxed poses, and that's what's nice about the hands. They make it really easy to give them a nice relaxed look to them. Because some figures, they just go straight out and you get like waffle hands. But this actually has a nice natural pose to it. Well, as natural as a robot can get, That's the arm. That's the same for both sides. The waist rotates because of transformation. 360. The legs have some nice ratchet joints up in the hips. It's really subtle, which is nice. That means there's a lot of ratchets in there. And you get some really nitpicky posing if you wanted. So see, that's a lot, but that's like as far as it'll go back. But you get some really nice balanced poses out of this, all the way forward like that. So it is a little bit limited in the amount of degree of motion, but it's very sturdy. Like usually if you do this with a Transformer, you're gonna get the legs like flopping around. Not on this. The knees too also have ratchet joints, and you can see them right there. They're a bit spaced out, but you get a good range of motion. Bends 90 degrees back, like 45 forward. Weird pose, but yeah. They rotate here. The ankles pivot back and forth and side to side on an interesting joint. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, you can get him some wide stance poses and rocking back and forth. He is a little bit wobbly for forward and back, but it's actually blocked off from here, so he could actually lean back. If he leans forward, he's gonna fall like that. But yeah, that's how far it goes forward and back. So he stands fine, but it is a bit wobbly. The neck joint, right? The neck is on a hinge, so it goes up and down, side to side, and does like a little duck pose. or giggity giggity. The face is really nice. The antennas are articulated for transformation, and they are very hard plastic, so those are prone to breakage. But if you take a close look, his face is painted in the same silver that we saw on the trailer and on the forehead, and unlike the Takara version, his eyes are painted baby blue, which looks a lot like the cartoon, so that's nice. And it's better than the Takara one, because in the Takara one he looked like he was dead or in sleep mode, so I didn't like that. That was like the one time I don't like translucent plastic. Detail work, he's got chrome abs, translucent yellow on the crotch piece right here, which is really nice. He's got silver paint, the same silver paint all over him, is the same as the trailer, except his thighs. Those are the only gray plastic. He's got chrome on the gas tanks on the sides here, and gray plastic on the bottom of the feet. And it's nice because this gray part is plastic, but this blue part, I think, is die cast. I'm not sure. It looks like and feels like it. Could be, but it's good that they did this, because if it was all die cast, it would be scraping on the bottom. And so they were really thoughtful about where they put the die cast for that part. But then on the inside, at the waist joint, there's one that gets rubbed all the time, and it's made out of die cast, but it's painted, and the paint is chipping away really fast already. It's like already half gone. I don't know why they had to paint that, but I'll show you that during transformation. Now yeah, chrome smokestacks, nice little detailing that you don't see when it's in truck mode. You pull it up for truck, push it down for robot, and that comes out. That's nice. Now his other feature is, you know, of course, his matrix of leadership, which you open these up, and unlike the original, these were die cast, these are plastic. I think that's okay because of the paint chipping, and this is molded in red plastic, so you're not going to get that. There's also, yeah, like silver paint throughout here, that's nice. Yellow paint, no stickers. Oh, and the nice gold Autobot logo right here. It's the same as the trailer, so it's 3D sticking out, and gold paint apps, which is kind of weird. I thought it would have been yellow, but it's gold. It's the only gold on the entire figure. Is on his forearm. Now his matrix of leadership is pretty cool here. It's made out of his truck mode's grill. So this is a pseudo grill that just sits on the bottom in truck mode, and this is the actual grill. Nice way of using it twice. So and I like this part because it opens up twice, so it makes like you know, 2 layers of protection. This part's a little hard to get to, and this is annoying. Could have been a little bit easier, but yeah, 2 layers of protection, and underneath both of them you get the matrix of leadership. It's made out of die cast metal, and it's, you know, it's hard to get out, so I just usually use something to pry it out, just like that. And here we have, it's beautiful. And it looks like something we might have seen before, I'm not sure where, but it's beautiful. Die cast metal all throughout except the middle, which is translucent blue, and has light piping. You can see there, it's really, really nice. I wish I had a light up feature, but it's so small. So yeah, he holds that in his, you can hold it in his hands or his chest. I'll put that up to the side for now. Close it up. And the only bad thing about this chest piece is that on mine, it doesn't sit flush against each other. I don't know if that's going to be a QC problem or not, but mine's a little uneven. That's okay. Now his gun actually stores on his back. Like, it doesn't come packed in here during packaging, so I did not know what this little cavity was for. I had no idea. It took me like a day to figure it out, that it's the gun that you put in there, and it just pegs in back there. Now for holding it, he holds it very nicely via these 2 pegs on either side, so you can hold it in either hand. Now it does look a little small in my opinion. I would have liked this blaster to be a lot bigger, like on the MP01. See, like that. His trigger finger. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it looks a little small, but it's okay. And now his other weapon is Energon Axe. This thing's kind of hard to get out. So yeah, it fits exactly on his fist in one certain way, because there's a groove for the thumb. I don't know if it fits on the left hand. No, I don't think so. I think it only fits on the right hand. Let's take out this gun. He has to fold up his fist and then put on his gloves. So you could leave it like a little fist glove thing, punching glove, boxing glove. See, it fits nice and tight on there, so it's not going anywhere. But it kind of sucks because I don't know why it's so tight when this thing is the one that doesn't hold on at all. So in my opinion, that looks really cool. It's a giant Energon axe. We don't have many of those, so I'm happy. And it rotates. It rotates either at the wrist or at the actual axe. So looks cool. It'll be nice to put up against Megatron's Energon mace. It's a really tight connection. Okay, so now I guess we have 10 minutes left. Nothing really other, you know, no other features. He doesn't have a moving mouth plate. Nothing like that. Yeah, that's about it. So, let's see. Transformation. This is going to be interesting. Because I'm still not sure if I'm doing it right. Because like I said, there's no instruction manual that I can find. So, I just had to guess everything. So, okay, first thing to do, let's put away the fists. Really tight. And, interesting transformation. You can see they're actually angled, they're not straight across, so that's cool. I really dig this figure. Now open up his chest. Actually, no, we'll take these parts back here, rotate them down. Get him out of the way. Open up the chest. Flip this part up and unpeg the abs, just so it let goes of the torso. And then here we have the die cast part that I'm talking about. I don't know if you could really see it, but this red part right here is all die cast. You can see, yeah, there's a piece of like gray looking silver thing here. That's the die cast. It was painted red like this, but because of transformation, it's completely getting chipped off. Like, it's not even putting up a fight, it's just coming off completely. So that was a bit of a weird waste of a paint app. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or something, but it's just not working. Now I'm gonna take these parts, these wheels, bring them down, and rotate them around 180. Open up these grill parts and this headlights. Keep it down out of the way for now. Same on the other side. This one's really tight. Now that we have these parts out of the way, much like the G1, we just, well, this part not really. Extend the smokestacks. Extend them all the way up. And collapse the arms. Pull back the shoulders. This is kind of hard because I'm at a weird angle. Not used to doing such a large figure review. And yeah, just squeeze them in, just like the original. And not just like the original, much like every Optimus Prime we've ever gotten. Same transformation. Let's see, we could actually rotate the waist. Oops, maybe not. Yeah, rotate that, get that out of the way. Rotate it 180 at the waist. collapse, push in. There's a couple pegs that hold it together, help hold its form. Now pull out the chest. Oops, I guess I should have done this first. Yeah, pull it down. It makes the actual grill of the truck. Now we can bring in the arms. Then the head, point down the antennas, because if they're straight up they won't fit. Close up the cab and we're nearly there. Rotate these side panels up. Now you could peg them, but I'm not going to. Come back here underneath the elbows. You're gonna pull these down. It's gonna help fill out the rims of the tires, or the mud flaps, or whatever it is, just like that. Now there are two pegs up here that are gonna peg into the waist, so it's a bit of shimmying to get them in. And you could actually see them go in from the bottom side. And once it's lined up nicely, you're pretty much done with the cab. Now you could peg these in. Start with these headlights. Pull this down, and now you should peg these grill parts onto the front of the grill, but on mine it's starting to cause some damage. On yours too it could be. Since it's so tight, the part where it clips in is also chrome, so they're starting to scratch and rub off on each other. That's something to look out for. So for me, it doesn't really like affect the function of the transformation, so I just leave it as close like that as possible. On this side it's a little easier. I just squeeze and peg like that. That's the way it should look, nice and flush. But since mine's so tight, I just leave it on like that. It doesn't bother me as much. So I'm just gonna unpeg that one too. Yeah, because it's really starting to damage it, so I don't want to force that anymore, so I'll just leave it. Now we come back over here on the legs. We're done with the front half of the cab, as you can see. Nice and compact. The gun can store in at the same time. I just forgot to put it in. Collapse the legs. A lot like Grimlock, or I forget who. You just push the button, and it's nice. These buttons are actually don't look like buttons. They're integrated into the design of the truck, and the only reason you could tell that they're buttons is if they're totally different color than the rest of the leg. So I was like, how do I collapse the legs this whole time? And then I saw this and I pushed it and I'm like, oh, they collapse in all the way. No real click, but now you want to take the insides of the legs, flip it. Oh, I forgot to do that. Well, yeah, okay, so on Optimus, my bad, they were like this on Optimus. For truck mode, you want to take them and flip them around like that. Gets rid of the shin looking to it, and puts them on the inside and creates pegs that the legs actually peg onto each other. The feet collapse, just very simple feet, unlike Megatron. Took like an hour to figure his out. Now take these two gas canisters, slide them forward. They're on a double hinge up there. Get them out of the way. Now these side panels holding the wheels, flip it around, put it under the truck. Same on the other side. And that reveals the wheels. The nice rubber wheels. Now you could really just peg these together. Now that's the problem also with this thing. They don't peg it all very well. So yeah, can't really do much. And then the gas cans peg into the waist skirt armor thing up there. And they don't peg in that well either. It's very finicky, this part, the legs. But there's Optimus. There you go. There's Joe's transformation of Optimus Prime. My shoulder hurts because this is a weird angle. I gotta find a new angle to do these transformations. While I complain, you could take a look at them. Look at that. That's beautiful. That looks like something you would see on the streets. That's a real Transformer, guys. From the top, you can't really tell their legs. All you going to see is waist plate right there, his crotch, his codpiece. On the bottom, no legs whatsoever. Up here, it's only the pseudo grill that you see. No arms or anything you could tell. And this is another thing I'm confused about. There's like occasionally a gap would form. I think I'm doing something wrong, but I don't know. Now, not much new detail, except these flat parts back here. There's the only new part that you didn't see in robot mode, and the new grill, which looks a lot more like his G1 form. Let's see. Where's his G1? Here we go. Get him transformed really quick. I have like 2 minutes. My bad, guys. Should be a 3-parter, but I don't think I'm gonna bore you guys anymore. So yeah, here. Bam, that's like 2-3 times the size. Rubber wheels, everything. Really nice. Really, really nice. Just from the front, it just looks like a much better robot, truck mode. But very, very similar. The MPO1 looked awkward. This one just looks perfect. Although the windows are a little small. But these sides do open up here. There's just a really barely working rear view mirrors that you could fold up in front. So yeah, looks good. And the trailer hitch, this is where the trailer would hitch. I'm not gonna bother showing you, it's just the trailer. These 2 pegs, but since they unpeg so much, you're gonna have to hold it and then peg the trailer on. And once it's pegged on, it shouldn't give you any trouble. But yeah, it's a lot lighter than I thought it was gonna be. Like, I thought there would have been way more die cast, but it's rightly so. It's lighter for good reasons. Any heavier and it probably wouldn't be able to support its own weight. But yeah, I absolutely love this thing. I can't decide which mode to transform him into and keep him in for display, because both modes are just great. Like, it's not a trade-off with your usual Transformers, or the alt mode suffers for a better robot mode, or robot mode suffers for a better alt mode, like the alternators. This thing has best of both worlds, and I really can't recommend it enough. If you see it, do yourself a favor and pick it up. It's a very well built toy. Peace.